Abraham, if you know the history of Abraham, you will understand that he loved Yahuwah first before Yahuwah called him. He first of all detests the idols. Abraham detests the idols. It's because they took it out of the Bible that's in your hand. That's why this evil concocted Bible, that they missed the truth, and they took out the name of Yahuwah, the creator of life. That they put their man-made names, which they call Lord and God and Jesus and Christ. When you know this truth today, you will know that Abraham first of all loved Yahuwah before Yahuwah called him to be his chosen one. And let's see the details today. Let's look at the book of Yubalim. Yubalim is the one they translate to Jubilee. Yubalim chapter 12 verse 1 to 14. This is the account of how Abraham loved Yahuwah with all his life, his soul, and his mind. He detests the idols. That is the reason why Yahuwah called him to become his servant, to become his chosen nation. To Daraba Yahuwah, Ba'asham Yahusha. Yubalim chapter 12 verse 1 to 14. He said, and it came to pass in the 6th week, in the 7th year thereof, that Abraham said to Terah his father, saying, Father. Now Abraham he detests the idols that his father is worshiping, that he used in raising him. When he come to the age that he know understanding from the good and evil, he understand that these are not the right way to follow. This is not the right way to follow. He now called his father. He said, and it came to pass in the 6 weeks, in the 7th year thereof, that Abraham said to Terah his father, saying, Father. And Terah said, Behold, here am I, my son. And Abraham said, What help and profit have we from those idols which you do worship? Abraham saw his father worshiping the idol from when he was even young. Now that you will be asking question, this is what we know now. This is how they raise us. This is how they get back to us in this system, that we know that is the Lord and God that they are worshiping. My father and my mother is the Lord and God that he worshipped till he gave birth to us, and that's what we grew up with, is the Lord and God. So if the Lord and God is okay with them, I think that will be okay with you also. No, you must detest them. You must hate them. Let me put it in this way. You must hate the idols. It's a must that you hate the idols, because when you don't hate it, you will like it. That's just it. He said, and Terah said, Behold, here am I, my son. And Abraham said, What help and profit have we from those idols which you worship, which you do worship, and before which you do bow yourself? He said, What help which you do worship, and before you do bow yourself? We should do worship and you bow yourself. Yahuwah said you must not bow down to them. Let me read the second commandment again. He said you must not make for yourself an idol of any kind, or an image of anything in the Shamaim, or on the Arat, or on the Yam, which they can translate to see. He said verse 5, he said you must not bow down to them or worship them. For I, Yahuwah, your Aluah, I am a jealous Aluah, who will not tolerate your affection. That affection matters a lot to Yahuwah. Your affection to all the things that you are giving your affection to. Your affection belongs to Yahuwah only. Yes. When you want to give your affection which is your feelings, must belong to Yahuwah only. Nothing else. Yahuwah said, let me come again. He said, you must not bow down to them or worship them. For I, Yahuwah, your Aluah, I am a jealous Aluah, who will not tolerate your affection for other mighty ones and idol deities. I lay the sins of the parents upon their children. The entire family is affected, even the children of the 3rd and 4th generation of those who reject me. Say, we lay the sins upon them, and not just them, upon their children. They say, but I lavish unfailing love for 1,000 generations on those who love me and obey my commandments. Then look at Abraham. Abraham is not asking his father. He said, Father, and that said, and Terah said, Behold, I am here, my son. And Abraham said, What help and profit have we from those idols which you do worship, and before which you bow yourself? Verse 3. He said, For there is no ruach in them, for they are dumb. As I say, for they are dumb form. There is no spirit in them. They are dumb form. That's what Abraham is telling his father Terah. He said they are dumb form. He said for they are dumb form and a misleading of heart. He said for there's no ruach in them, for they are dumb forms and a misleading of heart. Do not worship them again. So then Abraham he's not telling his father, worship the YAHUAH of Shamaim. He's not telling his father, there is YAHUAH of Shamaim, worship the YAHUAH of Shamaim. Don't be buying down to these idols. Worship the YAHUAH of Shamaim, who caused the rain and the dew to descend on the Arat. Arat is what they translate to earth. And does everything upon the Arat, and has created everything in his Daba, which they translate to word. And all life is from before YAHUAH's face. All life is from YAHUAH's face. Say, worship that YAHUAH, the creator, the almighty one that created everything in this Arat and in the Shamaim. He's not telling his father to worship that YAHUAH. So the Rabbi YAHUAH, he said, why do you worship things that have no ruach, which they translate to spirit? Why do you worship things that have no ruach in them? For they are the work of man's hand, and on your shoulder you do bear them, and you have no help from them, but they are a great cause of shame to those who make them, and a misleading of heart to those who worship them. To those who worship them. Worship them not. Abraham is not telling his father Terah. He said, worship these things, these evil things, these are evil. They will mislead your heart from not following YAHUAH, the creator of life. These idols, these names that they brought to you, this name that they brought to you, the Lord our God and Jesus and Christ, they are misleading of heart for you not to follow the true creator that created you, YAHUAH, the YAHUAH for life. They brought the name Jesus that they call Jesus. Now they call it Jesus everywhere. It's a misleading of heart. Today now everybody that name. All the idols everywhere in India, idols in China, idols everywhere. Then in Christianity, the idol of Jesus Christ is the idol, is their image in their hearts. It's misleading of the heart. Verse 6. He said, and Abraham said unto him, and Abraham said unto his father Terah, and Abraham said unto him, which is Abraham. Abraham's father is now replying to Abraham now. He said, and Abraham's father said unto Abraham, which is his son, I also know it, my son, but what should I do? What shall I do to do? He said, but what shall I do with a people who have made me to serve before them? The father is now responding to Abraham now. He said, what should I do to a people that made me to serve before these idols? He said he knows that these are not real. They are lifeless. These images are lifeless. He said he knows. The father said, I know also. But what should I do? You are compromising the truth. You are compromising the truth of YAHUAH. He said, and Abraham's father said to him, I also know it, my son. But what shall I do with a people who have made me to serve before them? Verse 7. And if I tell them the truth, they will slay me, for their soul cleave to them to worship them and honor them. He said, the father is not telling Abraham that if I tell them the truth, they will slay him, that they will kill him. That's why now that YAHUAH said, you must fear the one that can kill your spirit and your soul. He said, you are afraid of the one that can kill only your body. He said, you are not afraid of the one that can kill your body, your spirit and your soul. You must fear only YAHUAH. Nothing on this Arat. Nobody can change the pattern that YAHUAH has programmed in this Arat. It's only YAHUAH that you will fear. No human being can take over YAHUAH's place. You can kill this body, but you cannot kill my soul, because the soul is what matters. My spirit is what matters. Destroy this body, yes, no problem. But can you destroy my soul? No. But YAHUAH, that is the creator of the soul and the spirit and the body, he can destroy your soul, your spirit and your soul. He can destroy your body, your spirit and your soul. Everything, he can destroy all. He's the creator of life. YAHUAH is the creator of life. Now look at it here. He said, and if I tell them the truth, they will slay me, for their soul cleave to their soul cleave to, he said, for their soul cleave to them, to worship them and honor them. Verse 8. Say, keep silent, my son. He's now advising his son to be like him, to be afraid of man also. That's why many of our parents teach us not to do the right things. We'll be afraid. They put the spirit of fear in our life. Most of the children that are afraid today, their parents that insert the spirit of fear in their life, like Abraham's father is about doing to him. He said, keep silent, my son, lest they slay you. And these words Abraham spoke to his brother. He said, now the father said, keep silent, my son, lest they slay you. And these words Abraham spoke to his two brothers, and they were angry with him, and he kept silence. Abraham still spoke the same word. Why are you worshiping this idol? They are not angry with him. Then he not kept silence. No problem. Then let's see what Abraham do. The servant of the Most High YAHUAH. Abraham, our father that YAHUAH has brought, the father that YAHUAH has put in this era for us to emulate, to follow his direction. Now you can know that Abraham's direction, he hates all idols and images. And in the 60th year of the life of Abraham, that is in the 4th week, in the 4th year thereof, Abraham arose by night and burned the ass of the idols. Abraham arose by night and burned the ass of the idols, and he burned all that was in the ass, and he burned all that was in the ass, and no man knew it. And Abraham arose and burned the ass of the idols, and he burned all that is in the ass, and no man knew it. Verse 13. He said, and they arose in the night and sought to save their idols from the midst of the fire. Abraham burned the idol. He burned the idol. Okay, you don't want me to tell you anything about it. Okay, no problem. Abraham was targeting the idol. He was targeting the image in their family. He was targeting that image. He was targeting. Then he got to a point. He destroyed it to the ground. Nobody knew it. Yes, this is what YAHUAH wants. He wants you to destroy every image in your mind, in your heart, in your environment. Detest them with your heart. Destroy them with your heart. Now destroy them. When you see them, frown on them. Don't see them as something. See them as destroyers that lead people to darkness. He said, and they arose. Let me come again from the verse 12. He said, and in the 60th year of the life of Abraham, that is in the 4th week, in the 4th year thereof, Abraham arose by night and burned the ass of the idols, and he burned all that was in the ass. No man knew. He said, and no man knew it. Verse 13. He said, and they arose in the night and sought to save their idols from the midst of the fire. And Aran, he said, and Aran hastened to save Aran his brother, the father of Lot. Now Aran his brother, the father of Lot, and Aran hastened to save them, to save the idols. You want to go save idols? I think they are supposed to be your savior now. You want to go and save the one you gave your mind, your heart to. You want to go and save it. It's supposed to be your savior. Now you want to go and save it. Now you want to go and save it. He said, and Aran hastened to save them, but the fire flamed over Aran, over him, and he was burned in the fire, and he died in Ur of the Kasdim before Terah his father, and they buried him in Ur of the Kasdim. Now the reason why Abraham took his son Lot is because the idol that Abraham secretly went to go and burn was what kills Lot's father. So that is why he took Lot with himself when YAHUAH called him. And after he had destroyed the idol, that is when YAHUAH called him to himself. Told the Rabbi YAHUAH, Ba'asham Yahusha, you must hate every idols in your life. Every image, you must hate them in your life. Every negative deity, you must hate them in your life. That image Jesus that everybody is calling in your house today, you must start to detest that image. That idol, you must detest it.